Alright, I never can tell when it's live on my side, so I'm waiting for it to show up. There it is. Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to my channel, Texas Gal Treasures. My name is Margaret, and in today's video we're going to be talking about I have 6 things here, but about 5 things that I spent about $5 on to flip to make about $100. So I spent, like I said, I spent right around $5, and I should be able to make about $100 profit. So if you're interested in learning how to do this, then definitely go down there and hit that subscribe button and the little bell so you're notified when I put out new videos. So these items are things that I mostly picked up at thrift stores. One of them came from a garage sale, but it was all from the same weekend. So this was stuff that I went out and bought really cheap, and I'm going to flip it on eBay. I am live, and I don't always do these live, but I thought I would come live today. So if you're ever interested in catching me live to ask questions or talk to the people in the chat, then make sure you hit that notification bell so you know you're notified when I go live. I do sometimes post on my Facebook page, Texas Gal Treasures on Facebook, and I have a jewelry group and a International League of Thrifters. I'll post in there as well sometimes. So let's talk about what I picked up to flip. The first item that I picked up, and I'm going to give you tips for each one. So if you're wondering, like, I'm not going to be able to find that same exact thing, I picked these items on purpose because they're things that you can find, like similar stuff, but not exactly the same thing. Oh wait, they're saying there's a problem in the chat maybe. Let's see. I'm waiting to see if it loads for me real quick before we keep going. No, it looks fine. For me anyway. Hopefully it clears up. Try refreshing your page. Okay, so the first item that I picked up was this bull, and he was half price, so he was $1. And I know you might be saying, well, I'm not going to be able to find the same bull, but the reason I chose to share this is that one of the things I like to pick up are figural items, and I like picking things up that are really kind of cool looking figural items. Now this guy also has got many different avenues of sale. So if you're somebody that's into stock market, so let's say you're a stock trader, you might want a bull. If you are a tourist, you might want a bull. So there's a few, you're a rancher, you know, there's a few different audiences for this. There's a few different customers as far as this goes. So hang on, my feet are falling asleep. Let me put my feet down. And then this is also a marked piece dance as well. So let me flip over to share with you guys what I think I'm going to be able to sell this bull for. It is a paperweight. Christine says, looks like a good weapon. Yeah, it's a paperweight. It's silver plate too, so that's cool. So I saw a few up and a few sold for around the $12 mark. I like to price my items high. There's something called perceived value. If you're new to this, then that might be a new concept, but if you've been doing this a while, you might be aware of this. If you see an item that is listed, there's a perceived value sometimes if you see one that's listed for $1 as opposed to $15. Something in us tells us, well, the $15 one's probably better quality, right? So I tend to list my items a little bit higher. So I'll probably end up listing him closer to the $17 mark. And then on eBay, I use best offer. So I'll put a best offer, and I'll limit it between, you know, I'll say I don't accept a best offer below this amount, that kind of thing. So there's that. That was $1, so that's my first dollar spent. Let me flip back over because I want to make sure I'm going in order for you guys. Okay, the next thing that I picked up, and if you guys have been watching me for a while, you know I've been doing jewelry a lot. And I do have one piece of jewelry to share with you guys, but I am starting to get back into hard and soft goods. When I say soft, I mean plush. Now, I'm not going to be picking up just any old crusty plush, but this is a pushing, which I had to explain very, very gently to one of my children that no, he could not have it because he loves pushing. But I paid 50 cents for this at a garage sale this weekend. And the reason I told him he could not have it is because this will sell, because it's got the tags, it's new, it's in like really pristine condition. This will sell for $20. So this fancy schmancy pushing narwhal is going to go up for $20. So yeah, I know, he's so cute, Christine says. And Mary and Brian Wagner said, cattle women here and resellers, LOL. Yeah, there you go. So we got a bull for you. All right, so let's flip over and I'll share this with you. If you're not familiar with this brand, this is Pusheen. It's like a cat. Like this is the cat, right? And there are people that love Pusheen, and my child is one of them. So anyway, so here you can see these are sold on eBay. There are different sizes, and sometimes these got different outfits on or is dressed up as different kinds of things. But this one goes for about 20 bucks. You can even see on eBay, it'll say trending at 1985. So I might, like, here's one that sold for $24.18. So I might actually post mine for $24.99 or something like that, because I can always take a best offer and come down. Or somebody might just have that perceived value and think, oh, 25 bucks, that must be nicer than the rest. And they buy it. So this guy is going to get listed ASAP because baby needs a new pair of shoes. I'm that baby. No, I'm joking. Okay, so next, so that was 50 cents at this garage sale that I went to this weekend. And I got some really cool stuff at this garage sale. What else did I get there? Am I going to show you anything else from there? One other thing is from that garage sale. Okay, so the next item I'm going to show you, this is another thing that you might say, I will probably never find what these, and I don't even know what this is. Okay, so this, first of all, I got this, they were half off, so it was actually $1, and I got 5 of them. So technically it was $5 for the lot of these. And if you know what this is, if you're watching live, quiz time, I saw them and I knew immediately what they were. I have a fun story to tell. But if you ever see something and you're like, I don't know what that is, then it might be worth taking a look, because it might be something that's a little more rare or something that's a little more sought after that you can't find. Plus, if you look at the bottom, this one's got the tag on it in French, made in France, Modèle de Poussé, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. And then the other ones that don't have the tag has that on it. And this is, now that you know that it's French, yes, Jody got it, escargot. It's for escargot. So the little snails would go in these little crevices to be consumed by the brave or the disgusting. I don't know. But here's my story. On story time in the middle of a video like this, you know what? This is not an appropriate story. I changed my mind. But here's a tip, though. I saw them also listed as a mushroom plate. So let's say you didn't want to use it for escargot and you wanted to use it for mushrooms. Perfect little container for that. So it was a horrible story. That's why I don't want to tell you. It was a horrible story about being forced to eat escargot as a child. And yeah, it's going to change the tone of the whole video. Oh, Joni loves escargot. Cool. Okay, so these escargot plates, again, I got 5 of them, or they were half off. And I'm so glad I stopped at this little thrift store in Marble Falls on the way to my sister's, and because we passed by it anyway, so we went there. So here's 2 that sold for $18.74, and then here are 5 of them that are up for $48. They don't have the handy dandy handle like mine does, but they're up for $48. And then I saw some more here. They're not the same brand, but here's 6 of them, I think, for $51. So I'll probably end up putting mine, and here's 2 for $30 that are up there. So I will likely put mine up, all 5 of them, for maybe $55, maybe $60, and then do that best offer on them, because I'll put them as a lot all together. So, yeah, all I remember about escargot from being forced to eat them that one time was the garlic sauce, and that was delicious. Even as a child, I was like, okay, this is disgusting that you made me eat this, but I appreciate the garlic sauce. That was really good. Garlic butter, I think, is what they were saturated in or soaking in. Okay, so tip there is, if you don't know what it is, or you see something you're like, what? Take a second look at it, because it might be something that is a little more desirable. French stuff, usually French crockery. Is that a thing? Pottery, crockery, French cookware. There we go. French cookware tends to do good, like Le Creuset and things like that. So French cookware there. Okay, so next up, let me make sure I grab the right thing. That's more of those. Okay, so the next thing that I've really enjoyed selling since I started, and I kind of got out of it, but I'm getting back in, is coffee mugs. And this one was 50 cents, and I got it at a garage sale. This one is not necessarily like, oh, this is such a great brand, but the subject matter was really good. So the subject matter is fishing. It's a really big fish. It's got a Bible verse on it from Matthew, follow me, and I will make you the fisher of men. And then it's got a really nice lid. It's in really good shape. It's a good sized travel mug. This is like, I need one 3 times this big for the amount of coffee I drink every morning. But the brand Cypress actually does okay. The lids, this is something else to note. Even if, let's say the mug was a mess, but the lid was still nice, the lids sell for a pretty good profit. So people that have this mug or this style of mug, they want the lid, that can sell as well. So let's take a peek. I didn't find the same exact one, which if you're new, this is a tip for you. If you can't find the same one that you've got, price it a little bit higher, because if somebody's looking for it, say for Father's Day, they want this precise one, they're willing to pay a little bit more. All right, so these are Cypress Home mugs, and I'm seeing them, I mean, I see the 650 one, but it doesn't really have a subject matter to it other than blue and green. But ones that seem to have a topic, you know, lighthouses or cats or even this blue butterfly, motorcycles, those ones tend to be like $17 and up. So, and I know, oh, here's the lid. So here's the lid. That's sold for $7.83. Do I have this on solds? Let me check. Yeah, these are on solds. Sorry, I'm scrolling fast. So, here you see the, you know, cardinals sold for $21.55, and then the butterfly one for $17.99. So I will likely post this one probably for $25. And if you're new to this and you're like, oh my gosh, who buys used mugs? That's what I used to say when I first started. Like, really, people buy used mugs? Totally, they do. And yeah, so they will. And people spend crazy money on mugs. I've sold so many mugs over my career, my years doing this, that I'm no longer surprised at the amount people will pay for mugs. I've sold, what was the brand? Le Chat. I remember it's got the cat and it was French on the front. There's the French again. And it sold for like $40. So take a look at those mugs. And I have 2 mugs that I just listed. I don't think I ever shared that with you guys. I'm getting back into mugs. So there is that. So I'll probably end up putting that up for $25. And again, I paid 50 cents for that. So that's probably a good $20 plus $22 profit on that. So there's that bad boy. And we've got two more items I think that I'm going to share with you guys. Let me close these out. Okay, so next up is, okay, this. And I got this at a garage sale this weekend. I paid $1 for it. And again, this is one of those like, oh, I don't know that I could find the same exact thing. It doesn't matter. So things that are celestial, like sun, moon, stars, there are people that are really into that. So this is just a little wooden box. I'm going to have to clean it up a little bit. That might detract from the value because I just noticed that. But it might not. Somebody might like that rustic look. So, or they might just like the top. So here's this one. Another thing that's unusual about this one is that it's red rather than blue. Christina's saying I've sold Le Creuset mugs, and that's, oh yeah, Le Creuset mugs are for sure. I'm sure they would sell for a good profit. Okay, so let's take a peek. And I didn't find the same exact one either, but I found this sun or moon and stars for $28. And then there's one on Etsy. This one is up for $14.50. This one's more similar to what I've got. So if I sold mine for, you know, $15, let's turn it the right way. So there's that. I think that might be all I've got on those ones. Let me double check. Yeah, it's just my search. Okay, so I'll probably end up putting this up for about $15, even with the little like flaw right there, because I think people that would like celestial type things will still enjoy it. We'll see how it goes. Hello in the chat. I've got one more item, and then I'm going to come chat in the chat in just a second and say hi and all that, and answer the questions. Okay, last thing, I promised you I was going to share some jewelry with you guys. And if you follow me on Instagram and Facebook, you've probably already seen this one because I shared it because I was researching it and I was super happy to find it. So I got this at St. Vinny's, I think, where my sister lives in Kerrville. I paid $1. It may have been on sale. They may have had jewelry on sale that day. But this is French Jet. And I have a whole video, which I will link, talking about black jewelry. In my group, I did I think it was a whole month, where we talked about the different types of black jewelry: regular jet, French jet, obsidian, etc., onyx, whatnot. But if you are looking at this and like, how on the fly am I supposed to know that that is French jet? Well, one, I'll link the video so you can learn more. But two, because it's French jet, that means it's a glass. It's going to be cold to the touch. So when I picked it up and I felt it cold to the touch. And then I was looking at the beads, and I'm sure I'm not going to be able to find the right one now on the fly. I should have tagged it. But one of the beads has something called I'm going to say this wrong. My sister and I were laughing about this because I was trying to remember what it was called, and it's called a conchoidal fracture, and I was telling her it sounds naughty, but one of the beads had a conchoidal fracture, and obsidian would do the same thing. If that's like one of these fractures that glass gets, that like has this curvature when it chips or breaks, so that lets you know it's either obsidian or glass. But technically obsidian is a volcanic glass. So anyway, but French jet can go for a good amount of money. And yeah, so I saw one of the beads. I was trying to figure out, I called my sister. I was like, what is that? What's it called? I know there's a word for that. So we were puzzling it out. All right, so this, and they actually measured it already. So it's 24 inches. So this 24-inch French jet necklace will probably go, I'll probably list it around $25. So there's that. And you can see there's a few different ones up there. And there are ones that are for more. There are some that are for less. But I felt like mine was pretty standard looking. You know, if somebody wants just a single strand of French jet, black. And there's some good, there are some good keywords to put in with that, because it was often worn during Victorian, Edwardian type times as mourning jewelry. They would wear black jewelry. I'll link the video if you want to dive deeper into black jewelry. But there's that. So that was French jet. Paid $1 for it, and we'll list it for about $25. So there is that. All right, so if you are new and you are really just wanting to dive in and learn more about this, then definitely subscribe to my channel. I put out lots of videos going through thrift stores, Goodwill, garage sales, showing you the things that I pick up, talking about why I picked it up and what I'm going to sell it for on eBay and sometimes on Etsy, because if it's a vintage, I can sell it on Etsy and eBay. And if it's not vintage, then it just goes on eBay. So that's cool. All right. I'm so glad that you learned something new. Thanks, Ryan, and thanks for coming to hang out and watch live. And I felt like I was going to ask, I was going to read back in the chat, and I felt like there was something else I was going to bring up, and now I forgot what it was. I have to write it down, y'all. I have to write it down. Okay. Hey, Joni, thanks for coming. Hello, Christine and Mary. I'm sure I'm skipping people. Renee, thank you for being here. Indigo. Hi, Dan. Hope you're feeling well. Yeah, snails. I guess it's the end of the video. I can share with you now what my biological father, my biological father threatened that if I didn't eat the escargot, that I would get a spanking. So I was very upset. It was very traumatic. I will never forget it. And I was not happy about it. So I ate the escargot. So Jazzy Red said, I paid $35 for a first edition Disneyland You Are Here Starbucks coffee mug. I broke my original one. I was sad. I waited for months to find a used one that cheap. The others were going for $55 and up. Wow. I mean, that's the thing. Like, people get attached to, Grandpa really loved his fishing mug. And I had this happen with another mug too. That somebody's grandfather had broken a mug, and they wanted the ones that I had two that were listed together, and they wanted one of them. Anyway, it was a long story. But there are people that get attached to their things, right? And they want the same thing. All right, so hello, Sherry. Thanks for coming. Hi, Jenny. How's it going? And Cheryl and Dale and Ryan, thank you so much. Oh, I saw that Jenny was talking about a jewelry casket she sold. She paid $1.20 for it and it sold for $121 and went to Hong Kong. Yes, I need to look at the actual Ormolu is the bolo. So if you're watching this, check it in the chat. And also, a lot of our friends in the chat that are here live have YouTube channels and groups. I know Jenny has a group called Every Day is Christmas. What is it called? Exactly. Yes, Every Day is Christmas on eBay, or something like that. Yes, Virginia, Every Day is Christmas on eBay. And she really focuses on Christmas stuff that you can sell on eBay. And I have definitely got some footage from an estate sale I went to yesterday, and it had a whole room full of Christmas stuff. And I didn't buy anything Christmassy. Okay, all right, so thanks so much for coming to hang out, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you're watching later, leave a tip down in the comment section about something that you think people should be on the lookout for, and I will be back to share more fancy schmancy things that you can flip and make a good profit on eBay. And I will talk to you soon. Bye, everybody. Have a really great evening.